So the most common question I get at the minute is, 2-bit, when is the bull market over? When are we going to hit the top? And more importantly, when do I need to sell all of my crypto? Well, I'm going to try and break down some of the key things I'm watching and give you a little idea as to when this market may finally be over. Hint, it's not for a while, but we'll get into it as we go through this video. So hit the like button and subscribe to the channel. This one's a little bit different, so definitely watch it till the end where I give you my full breakdown of exactly when I think it's time to get out of this bull market. With that being said, let's get into it. So one of the most obvious things that many people refer to is this, the bull market peak indicators. How do you know when the market cycle top is in? Now, there is a couple of things we need to reference to start with. This isn't an absolute guarantee, and some of these will be very different given the fact that historically we never had ETFs. We never had the amount of global companies buying huge amounts of Bitcoin. But you know the old saying, history doesn't often repeat itself, but it mostly rhymes. So we'll break down some of the key ones here, as well as getting into what people are saying that the market cycle top could be in. So some of the key indicators that I like to look at, one of which is the pi cycle top indicator. This basically shows us the packing out and timing of the market cycle within about 3 days. And you can see where the previous peaks have come in. It tracks two key moving averages, the 350-day moving average and the 111-day moving average, which generally therefore gives you an idea as to where the market cycle top could be in. Now, again, obviously the Bitcoin price tends to go up, and we'll be looking at breaking the previous all-time high as we head on up to that market cycle top. So this one is definitely worthwhile keeping an eye, but this could be very different with obviously that institutional investment coming in. That is definitely one of us to keep an eye on. Now, the reference is a 1.6, and we're absolutely nowhere near that at the minute. So again, has this been hit or not? No. One of the other ones that I really like is the pool multiplier. This looks at Bitcoin's economy. How are miners doing, their revenue, and more importantly, what are they doing with the Bitcoin they hold? Are they selling, holding? Are they pushing prices up or pushing prices down? Now, historically, this pink line here is given it a certain value of around $240 as we see this kind of push to the upside. Now, obviously, this equates to the more recent Bitcoin price as to where this moves. Generally, pink lines indicate the top of the market. What we can agree here is that we're nowhere near. Back here in 2013, you can see the market cycle top, 2017 and 2021. Now, 3 points to reference though, we were actually below just this pink line here. So expect a lower range when the market top is in. But again, sneak peek, we're nowhere near that point just yet. Now, going on to a couple of other ones that I really like the look of, we got Bitcoin dominance, a key factor as we walk through this bull market. And what we see is Bitcoin dominance will generally peak at around 60 as we walk into the upper range of the bull market. We then see Bitcoin dominance come down as altcoins come up, signaling we've probably got about a month left. Altcoins tend to rally about a month after Bitcoin. So again, a key thing to think about, the gold line here being the Bitcoin dominance. Again, we are up at the minute, but that's because a lot of institutional money is being flown into Bitcoin as opposed to the altcoin markets. Now, a couple of other things that I think are definitely worthwhile. The Bitcoin MVRV ratio, the MVRV realized market cap ratio, is a key metric that we analyze crypto markets, especially Bitcoin. Ultimately, investors assess whether cryptos are overvalued or undervalued. The easy way to say this is, do you think Bitcoin at 105,000 feels cheap or expensive? And I think when you get into that place, that's indicating, in my view, where the market's going to go. Now, generally, what do we see? We see a move to the upside. We see a spike in the peaks, this indicating the bull market may be overvalued, which generally is an indication that the market cycle top is in. Remember what they always say, when the market feels greedy, you should be nervous. And when the market's nervous, buy everything. That's the reality of it. So again, this is going to indicate that the markets feel overvalued. People are basically jumping into anything and everything, and people are posting pictures of Lambos and brand new watches over on X as well. So there are 3 key indicators that I just think are worthwhile noting. What do other people think? Well, crypto bull end rates, people believe we could even go into 2026 with everything that's going on. The slowness to get to a previous all-time high is an indication that we may go on longer. Now, whether we agree with the 4-year cycle or not, we get a very interesting outlook. Determining the end of the day to the crypto bull market is crucial for maximizing those profits and planning investment strategies. Basing it on historical data, lengthening bull patterns, Ian Bellina gave a very interesting 3 possible scenarios. The bear case, where the bull run follows a 15% increase in length compared to the previous cycle, expects an end around March 26. The base case assumes a 25% increase, and that would suggest that we could go as long as June 2026. And the most optimistic scenario, the absolute, we're going to the moon and no one cares, would be a 40% increase in length. The bull run could extend all the way to November 2026. These timelines provide a range of possibilities for investors to strategize and make the most of the bull run. Now, July 26 or November 26, excuse me, would be pretty crazy if you ask me. That would almost make us a 5-year cycle. But when obviously you then double down on the fact that we see none of these indicators hitting and a potential price rally of 230,000 or beyond, it sort of doesn't feel too far away. And especially when you start looking at extended cycles and the fact that we're taking so long to get there could absolutely push us into later this year. When you start to look at how this moves, when you look at things like the MACD cross or you look at a DEMA cross on the stochastic RSI, well, the reality is that we are just about hitting that point. You can see previous market cycles then run for about 1,000 days post that point. Now, the halving is a key measure. And actually, when we got the last halving, we can see a solid move. We actually got the halving in and around April. And then if you take the fact that we run about 1,052 days, that's going to take us well into, well, you guessed it, back into 2026. So we could be looking at a late 2026 market cycle top for Bitcoin. That doesn't mean though that on the average move, we can get a big move up until October this year, which is generally where I kind of feel us going. If we said around 198 days, which is generally where we see these market cycles comes in, that puts us at about the first week in November. So my view for my prediction on the market cycle top, end of October, the start of November, I think the market will be done. I think we'll stick to a 4-year cycle. Yes, we'll see volatility, but I think that's where I get to. But I have to caveat and say, would I exit my entire position in October when there could be another rally into 2026? I don't know. Let me know what you guys think in the comments down below. What do you think your best strategy should be? Are you out in August? Maybe it's October, or maybe you are going macro to the moon and looking at a November 2026. And as always, drop it in the comments. Let me know. And until next time, thanks so much for watching, everybody. We'll see you soon. Bye-bye.